This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
You will no doubt be unsurprised when I tell you that I believe Republicans are vile, sinister hypocrites. And indeed, it would take an hour to talk about the many ways that Republicans are indeed hypocrites. If we were to talk about how they think actors and athletes should shut their mouths unless it's Dean Cain and Kevin Sorbo and Gina Carano. They think that voting laws should be designed any way that they see fit, including mail-in voting, until it doesn't go their way. And then they want to change them all up so it helps them. They believe that a corporation and a business should be able to do anything it wants, including discriminate in the case of cake makers who refuse to bake cakes in their publicly accommodating businesses for members of the LGBTQ community who want to get married and buy a cake to celebrate. Or Hobby Lobby, who refuses to cover birth control in its basic health care plans. And Mitch McConnell on Monday said some things warning corporations to stay out of politics. This isn't what you do best. And I want to talk about two moments. One was from Monday, and then reporters talked to him again in Louisville on Tuesday, and he clarified. Let's start slack-jawed yokel. Let's start with Monday.
Found it completely discouraging to find a bunch of corporate CEOs getting in the middle of politics. My advice to the corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics. Don't pick sides in these big fights.
My advice, like anybody's asking for your advice, Mitch McConnell, is for CEOs to stay out of politics. Until you need them. Until you want them there. That's your advice. Well, come Tuesday, in his whirlwind trip through his state, he was asked for a little follow-up about this. Because if they're staying out of politics, that means they're not giving you money. Well, that obviously is not what he's talking about. He wants their money. He needs their money to spend, to stay in office, to remain in power. Watch him on Tuesday.
So my warning, if you will, to corporate America is to stay out of politics. It's not what you're designed for. I'm not talking about political contributions. Most of them contribute to both sides. They have political action committees. That's fine. It's legal. It's appropriate. I support that. I'm talking about taking a position on a highly incendiary issue like this and punishing a community or a state because you don't like a particular law they passed. I just think it's stupid.
That is the height of hypocrisy. Listen, in 2010, the Supreme Court made a landmark BS ruling in Citizens United that gave personhood to corporations in certain instances. One of those instances was how much money they're able to give political campaigns, because they believe that that is free speech for corporations, because they are people or persons. So for Mitch McConnell to say, no, we don't want your speech, we don't want your opinions about heated political machinations, things that are happening in the country, we want your money. But according to the Supreme Court, and according to U.S. law as it stands, money, as far as political donations go, is speech. That is speech. That is taking a side. And when a corporation pulls out of a state, like Major League Baseball or Coke has threatened to do, Delta Airlines, all based primarily corporate in Georgia, when they say, hey, listen, we're not down with voter suppression because you're suppressing the vote of our customers. And we're going to act not in the best interest of our customers because we are just that generous and we're just that charitable. No, they're doing it because it's what's best for the business. They're not doing it because it's what's best for Georgia or Georgians or Democrats. They're doing it because it's going to hurt their bottom line if they do not act. If they stand by, like Major League Baseball chose not to, they moved their All-Star game out of the state of Georgia after Georgia implemented a wild, far-reaching voter suppression, passed a bill with several measures. I'll cover them in a separate video. Mitch McConnell's freaking out. It's like what happened a few years back with the Religious Freedom Restoration Act in Indiana that they were going to pass, which would, along with the whole cakes for gay weddings, it would have made that legal. It would have covered the suppression, covered the businesses for suppressing or oppressing, LGBTQ Americans. And I believe it was the NCAA said, nope, not on our watch. We're out of here. We're going to take the Final Four out of Indiana if you pull this BS. To which Indiana said, oh, okay. We really enjoy oppressing gays in America. We love it. It is what we do. But we also like money, so we're not going to do it. Ultimately is what Mike Pence did as governor of Indiana. And the same thing's happening here. That we want your money, but we don't want your speech. We don't want your take on these type of things. You're stupid. In fact, he went further to try to, in a sideways way, threaten corporations with like a boycott, which they're not even doing. I don't know if you saw that picture. Donald Trump was called for a boycott of Coke, but then he took a picture with his little racist goblin, Stephen Miller, and off in the corner, I'll put the picture up if I can find it, off in the corner, behind his phone, you see his Diet Coke sitting there. So he wants Americans to boycott Coke. But no, he can't do it. He just can't. It's too much for him. But watch Mitch McConnell do his sideways threat to corporations.
You know, Republicans drink Coca-Cola too. And we fly. And we like baseball. This is a pretty competitive political environment in America, as I just pointed out, a 50-50 Senate. If I were running a major corporation, I'd stay out of politics.
Well, you're not. Mitchy Poo, you're not running a major corporation. The thing you're running, well, you're not really running anything because you're the minority leader of the Senate. And when you were running the Senate, you were running it into the ground, brother. But I just love, it is chef's kiss that he is, well, Republicans drink Coca-Cola too. We fly too. Great, and you can continue to do those things. Unless you want to start your own MAGA airline. Piss-flavored MAGA Coke. This is when we not only need to keep pressure up on Republican politicians, we need pressure, and on Democrat politicians to do the right thing. We need to keep pressure up on corporations to let them know that we will speak, use our speech through the dollars we spend and choosing where to spend them. More corporations need to be brought in line. Hollywood, for instance. Hollywood has massive pull in the state of Georgia because all of the filming they do there. Hollywood needs to put its money where its mouth is and start yanking production out of there and get back to LA on sound stages and filming their things there. It might cost them a little money, but if they truly are leaders of progress in America, pushing the envelope as far as human rights are concerned and voting rights and racial equity in America, then they'll get out of Georgia. Force Georgia's hand to do the right thing here and stop systematically oppressing black folks in their state, pulling the vote from them, making it difficult to vote. Take it out of Republicans' hands. Because power, when left in Republicans' hands, only ends in disaster. Economic and social disaster, time and time again, as we've learned. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think. You can leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. If this isn't enough for you and you'd love to hear more, subscribe to my podcast. It's called I Doubt It. It's on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere that you can find podcasts. The other thing I would ask is, one, follow me on social media. Always a good time. I'd love to connect with you there. And the other thing is, if you are in a financial position to do so, I would encourage you to consider becoming a channel member. You can click the join button, find out more details there. But for fewer than $2 a month, you can help support my work here, independent analysis and commentary on the news. And if I'm not your flavor, which is very likely, because I'm not for everybody, find somebody on this platform that you enjoy, that you get value from, and support that person. There are plenty of people who talk about politics, who are independent, who aren't under some corporate umbrella. There's plenty of people out there who I'm sure very much need the support to help produce their content, and that's what you could do with me. Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for engaging with my content. It's a perpetual fight, and that's okay. That's how we get things done. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.